Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here. And I've been using the P20 Pro from Huawei for about a week now, and I want to give some further impressions on this device, especially because this is the first phone I've used with a notch since I was using the iPhone 10. Otherwise, let's jump into some further impressions on this very colorful device. When I say that this is a very colorful phone, I am not kidding. I've actually had people ask if there was a case on this phone, and that is not the case. As you can see, it shifts colors with that gradient back. It's also very reflective, so you can see me and in that camera. Definitely a very premium feeling phone. I really like that they have a little notch in the power button, which does have a little color on it, but that aside, you can feel the difference between this button and the volume rockers. Next up, let's talk about what is an issue to some and not to others, and that is notch life. So of course, as you can tell, Huawei has implemented a notch format with just the earpiece and a front-facing camera, also some sensors in between that, and some more screen real estate in the upper right and upper left-hand corners. Down at the bottom, they have a fingerprint scanner on the front of the device, which some of you might like because it makes it easier to unlock your phone while it's sitting on a desk. However, my personal opinion is I prefer to have it on the back. That's just a personal preference of mine, and it would give you a little bit more bezel-less design. I actually ran a poll on Twitter and was very surprised at the results, at the amount of people that actually don't mind the notch. However, on this phone, if you really don't like it, you have the option to hide it, which is a very nice implementation. You can hide the notch, and if I go home, there you go. Actually, no notch up at the top, but you'll see what it does is it just darkens the display where the notch actually should be. As for my personal preference on the notch, just like the iPhone 10, I've gotten used to it. I don't really mind it personally. However, not everyone has developed for a notch yet. So you'll see, as an example, I go to Instagram. If I want to post a story, let's say I want to go ahead and snap a quick picture to post to my story, check up at the top. It actually overlaps and takes out the option for this, and you really can't see it. And there's some apps that just aren't compatible with the notch, and that can be frustrating. So until that actually gets fixed, it bugs me to have a notch. And of course, even if I hide the notch, it'll still have that bit of an issue. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed this or not, but there's actually no navigation buttons down at the bottom. There's also no capacitive buttons on the sides to go back or to our recent apps. This is a fingerprint scanner. However, you'll see it's very quick, very snappy as a side note. However, you can actually use it to navigate through your phone. So if I go into the Play Store, for example, I want to go back home, you just have to press and hold that fingerprint scanner for just a little bit longer. If you want to go ahead and go back, so if I go into an app and I tap once, it goes back a screen. And then if I want to jump into my recent apps, you have to swipe over, which took a bit of time for me to get used to, but now I'm actually very good at it. And you can go ahead and go to your recent apps and quickly swap between them. Now, a lot of you might be asking, hey, where is the Google Assistant if it's not press and hold? You actually swipe up from the bottom. Hey, Google, how's it going? Anyways, that is it. And for me, I'm not a big fan of it, simply because sometimes you'll see I have a swipe up action on my home launcher, and that brought up the entire app drawer. Just can get a little annoying. Even when I'm in a settings screen, for example, if I go into settings, I swipe up. Sometimes it doesn't register because it thinks I'm just trying to scroll. So it can be a little finicky at times. So that's the downside to using this. But you do get more screen real estate. Next, I quickly want to touch on something I don't use that much. However, I tried to use it once and just couldn't get a good shot, and that is the front-facing camera. It does have a portrait mode, which does a really good job at outlining your face, blurring the background, and a photo mode. However, for me, it just kind of really makes the photos look a little odd. I'm going to jump into Instagram, go to my account, and here's a selfie that I took and posted. It just makes you look really young. In my opinion, it makes the lighting very soft. It almost touches up anything, any blemishes on your face or anything like that, which some of you might like. But me personally, I prefer more of a real selfie if I'm going to take one, which I rarely do. And of course, I cannot forget the triple camera on the back, partnered with Leica. More on it to come, but very briefly, I've been very impressed with it. There's some things I like, some things I don't. More in my full review, I need just a little bit more time with the triple camera. Just want to give a couple more final thoughts, one of them being the dark mode as an option. You'll see the settings app is themed, the pull-down tray is themed, and I really like that. I wish there was a way to kind of swap between maybe a light mode and a dark mode depending on a specific time. That's not an option at the moment, but very few phones offer a system-wide dark mode. The P20 Plus is one of them. The P20 Plus also has an always-on display mode, which is great for use with the AMOLED display, and I found that I actually don't like using phones that don't have an always-on display at the moment. It's just great to be able to glance at your phone, see the time, some notifications, battery percentage, date, all that good stuff, and you don't really have to worry about battery life taking a hit because battery life on the P20 Pro is fantastic. So anyways, that's about everything for now on the Huawei P20 Pro. More to come in my full review. Stay tuned for that. I'll probably do a comparison between the P20 and P20 Pro as well. So lots more to come. Be sure to click that subscribe button. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.